After 17 days of relentless war, the world found itself standing on the edge of something far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. What started as a regional conflict had quickly evolved into a global concern. News channels were flooded with updates, analysts debated endlessly. Social media was filled with speculation, fear, and confusion. But beneath all the noise, something far more calculated was unfolding. There was no warning, no dramatic announcement, no visible preparation, just a silent signal that changed everything. Deep within a secured military zone, far from public view, a system came online. Lights flickered, screens activated, coordinates were locked, and within seconds, a decision was executed. Iran had activated one of its most advanced and secretive weapon systems, a weapon that had been in development for decades, a weapon designed not just for power, but for unpredictability. A weapon the world would soon come to know as the dancing missile. At first, the name sounded almost misleading, even harmless. But those who understood modern warfare knew better, because this wasn't just another missile, this was something entirely different. Traditional ballistic missiles follow a predictable path. Once launched, their trajectory can be calculated, their destination can be estimated, and in many cases, they can be intercepted. But this missile refused to follow the rules. It moved differently, it behaved differently, and most importantly, it could not be easily predicted. As it launched, there was no immediate panic, no alarms, no early detection. Because by the time systems realized what had happened, it was already too late. The missile was in the air, and it wasn't flying in a straight line. Instead, it twisted through the sky, altering its path mid-flight, shifting direction at high speeds, almost as if it were reacting in real time. To radar systems, it appeared unstable. To defense networks, it appeared unpredictable, and to those tracking it, it appeared unstoppable. This was the moment experts had feared, not because of its speed alone, but because of what it represented, a shift in how wars could be fought, a shift in how defenses could fail, and a shift in how quickly decisions would need to be made. In traditional scenarios, defense systems rely on time to detect, time to calculate, time to respond, but this weapon removed that advantage completely. There was barely any warning, barely any time, and barely any room for error. Within military command centers, tension rose instantly. Operators stared at screens, trying to make sense of the data. Signals were inconsistent. Tracking lines were unstable. Every prediction seemed to fail, and every second made the situation worse, because this missile wasn't just fast, it was intelligent in its movement, not guided randomly, but deliberately shifting in ways that made interception nearly impossible. Defense systems launched countermeasures, interceptors fired into the sky, but one by one they failed, missing their target, losing lock, falling behind, and suddenly a realization spread across command centers. This was not a normal threat. This was something new, something advanced, something dangerous. Meanwhile, across major cities, people remained unaware. Daily life continued, traffic moved, lights stayed on, and the sky above remained silent. Because the true danger wasn't visible yet. It was moving too fast, too high, and too unpredictably. Then came the next realization: time, or rather, the lack of it. In older missile systems, preparation took time. Fueling, alignment, calibration. Each step created a window, a chance to detect, a chance to act. But this system didn't need that. It was powered by solid fuel technology, which meant it could be launched almost instantly. No delays, no long preparations, no second chances. And that changed everything, because now, the moment a decision was made, the action followed immediately. And for the target, threat cannot be predicted. It cannot be easily stopped. And when it cannot be stopped, every second becomes critical. This wasn't just a demonstration of power. It was a message, a signal to the world that warfare had entered a new phase, a phase where speed, unpredictability, and technology would define outcomes. Not numbers, not size, not even strength alone, but intelligence, precision, and timing. And as this realization spread, one question began to dominate every discussion. If this was just the beginning, then what comes next?